grand entrance.
Okay, we are doing well-ordered language, 3B. We are still on lesson 1, and we are going to be going over sentences to learn, B. So that would be on page 14, okay? But first, before we start, I'm just going to review. We have 4 structures. I want this drilled into your head. We have simple, compound, complex, compound, complex. Say it with me. Simple, compound, complex, compound, complex. And we have, last semester, we had compound sentences. And you know it's a compound sentence when it's joined. 2 simple sentences are combined with a fanboy. For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And now we're getting into complex sentences. Our sentence patterns are SVI, SVTDO, SVLPN, VLPA. And remember the questions we ask, we say Jesus loves who or what? Jesus loves me. Jesus is God. Does that rename or describe our subject? It is renaming. So nominative is name in Latin, remember? So predicate nominative. This is SVLPA. Is wholly describing or renaming our subject. Wholly is describing our subject, so it is a predicate adjective. And how you know if it's a SVLPN or SVLPA is when you see a linking verb, you should have sirens going on or a bell going ding, 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 ding. Wait a second. I know to ask the question, is God describing or renaming the subject? Okay, and then we'll get into these a little bit later. All right, and Rosine is going to do the lesson today. We have the board already, so go to page 14.
Also, this is Franklin the elf who likes to diagram sentences. He will be helping you today.
Okay, so for this first sentence, I'm going to walk Rosine through it, and for sentence 2, she's going to do on her own. So part 1 of our sentence is we reread the sentence aloud. Remember, we always just read it aloud. So read it aloud.
When did you go to the planetarium? That is in Houston.
Now we're going to change the order for analysis is conjunctions, phrases, clauses, principal elements, and modifiers.
Right to left.
So are there any prepositional phrases?
I see one.
You see one?
Yes. In Houston. It's telling us where the planetarium is.
Okay, so if you can't remember what a prepositional phrase is, you can go to your preposition chart, J, and if you can't find a prepositional phrase, review your prepositions, and pretty sure you will be able to find your prepositional phrase. A preposition relates a noun or pronoun to another word. Okay, so she said our prepositional phrase is to the planetarium. So
no, in Houston. And to the planetarium. There's 2 of them.
Okay, so first do to the planetarium.
To is the preposition.
So you write a P underneath the preposition.
Lowercase p. And then planetarium is the object of the preposition. So you do a lowercase o and a lowercase p. And V is an adjective. It's an article. Definite article is telling which planetarium. Switch colors. Adjective.
Is this where you want it?
I have one.
Okay.
I can't remember honestly. Okay, so in Houston is a prepositional phrase as well. So place parentheses around the prepositional phrase, write a P underneath the preposition. And Houston is the object of the preposition. So write OP underneath the object of the preposition. Are there any subordinate clauses?
That is in Houston. Right?
Yeah. What was our key? Not our key. What's your? You can turn it off.
You're already out and about.
Okay, Rosine will turn it off. While she's doing that, on page 6, remember, in order to find a adverbial clause,
look for the adverb.
we will ask the questions when, how long, how many times. Those are classes of adverbs of time. Another class of adverb is manner, how, in what way. These adverbial elements show the way an action happens. There's also cause, why, for what reason. Place, where, in what direction, from what direction, and degree. How much, how little, and to what extent. So those are some clues as to a prepositional or an adverbial clause. A subordinate clause. So that is in Houston is a clause. Place a square brackets around the clause. This clause is about that. So that is the subject because it is what the clause is about. Write a S underneath the subject of the clause. This clause tells us that is, right? That's our is. So is the predicate because it is what the clause tells us about.
It's the linking verb.
Yeah, there is, well, it is a predicate verb because it shows action.
It's a predicate verb.
There is no linking verb because a predicate verb does not need linking verbs.
That's true.
Also, it's not a linking verb because in Houston is a prepositional phrase. Remember, it's not a predicate nominative or a predicate adjective. So it's not a linking verb. Here it is an action verb, okay?
The thing about is, it's a helping verb, a linking verb, and a verb, so it's kind of confusing sometimes.
Yeah. So under that clause, draw the modifying lines and write adverb in the elbow opposite the line with the arrow. Right?
Where do we point the arrow?
Underneath the modifier line.
Where do we point the arrow?
Which one?
This one. That is in Houston.
Well, you need in Houston.
Yeah.
Is telling that. Remember, it's an adverbial prepositional phrase. I mean, is. Sorry, is.
Oh.
The adverbial.
It's leading me.
Yeah, sorry. Because it is telling where that is. Where is it in Houston? Where in Houston? It's answering the question where. All right. So now, that
is in Houston. It's telling us where the planetarium is, right?
Yeah. So that, it gets drawn to planetarium.
Long line.
And that's an adjectival clause. Adjectival, not adverbial. It's an adjectival clause.
Not adverbial. What next,
and
Maestro?
To the planetarium is telling us what?
Where they went. It's pointing to go.
Yeah, where did you go?
To the planetarium.
To the planetarium. Adverbial, prepositional.
A-D-B-P-R-E-B. And
okay, so now our part 2 is we're going to identify the principal elements and the modifiers. So we're going to read the sentence again. When did you go to the planetarium that is in Houston? when did you, this is a sentence and it is interrogative. This sentence is about you. So you is the subject because it is what the sentence is about. So you're going to underline it once and put an S above it. This sentence tells us that you
go.
Just go?
Yep.
Any helping verbs?
Did go.
Did go. So you'll underline that twice. Did is the helping verb because it helps the verb. So write HV over the helping verb.
Lowercase h.
And go is our predicate verb. That is in Houston tells us which planetarium.
Yeah, we already did that.
Okay. Oh, and that's also. Oh, so these are our modifiers. That's when we're supposed to go through our modifiers.
When? Oh. Oops.
So that is in Houston is an adjective element because it modifies a noun.
Yep.
It is an adjectival clause. So you should have the line drawn over to planetarium. To the planetarium tells us where you did go, and that's what we said. So to the planetarium is an adverbial element because it modifies a verb. It is an adverbial prepositional phrase. You got that on there? Adverbial prepositional phrase?
Yep. ADV prep.
Oh, it's kind of small there. Okay, when. That's the last our last modifier is when.
It's telling
When
us
tells us when you did go. So when is an adverbial
No way,
element
mind-boggling.
because it modifies a verb. It is an adverb.
I wonder.
When.
I know if I have room to make it go.
Oh my goodness. Well, as she's doing that all wonky, I'll show you what your paper should look like here if you were to put it on one whole line. When did you go to the planetarium? So if you need to, pause the video and check to see if your paper looks like this. Rogine's going to erase the board and we are going to... No, you can diagram it underneath, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what sentence pattern do we have here?
S, HV, PV.
It's just a SVI.
Yeah.
There's no... It's like you did go. If we were to change this interrogative sentence to a declarative, it would be you did go. So you need a line separating your subject and your predicate. There is no direct object. There isn't a predicate adjective. We just have clauses and prepositional phrases and other modifiers.
Hold on. Let me just...
So on the left, you're going to write
you.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Our video is going to be long.
I'm sorry.
And on the predicate side,
Did go.
did go. It looks like it says digital. Anyways, now left to right.
Right to left.
Oh, right to left. Just keep going.
To the planetarium.
All right, so do that one first. To the planetarium.
Gotta go. To planetarium. It's wonky.
And you can just abbreviate. Put T
To
and just put a plant.
Plan.
The. Now to the planetarium, there's modifying. And remember, you do your dash line off of planetarium.
Oh, yeah.
But in front of the. There, yep. No, make it longer.
I know. I'm switching colors. Because it's fun.
And you have a subject, predicate,
That
verb.
Is
Yep, that is.
Houston. In Houston.
In Houston, yep.
Then we go. That is in Q.
All right, our last one is when. Where does when go?
Go.
And remember to capitalize it.
Because it's the beginning of the sentence.
And I'll show you here what your paper should look like if you can't navigate
Yeah,
her
writing's
messiness.
crazy.
So, when did you go to the planetarium that is in Houston? Okay, now we're going to look at sentence B.
Mom, tell them some jokes while they wait.
Hurry up and erase it.
Okay. Tell them some jokes while they wait.
Oh my goodness.
Something.
Hurry up.
Well, I need to
Last spring, comma.
Last spring. Just tell me the thing.
Yeah, keep going. Last spring, comma. Do you want me to write it?
No.
Midge.
Last spring. Midge.
And her cousin. Went there.
Went there.
Move all those markers so you can just keep going. For a special program. For a special program. No, put program underneath special over on the other side.
Oh.
So it can stay together. And erase Franklin.
What?
Yep, go.
No, Mom,
You're making
can't.
this come.
I can't erase Franklin.
You're making this video too long.
Well, I'm not erasing Franklin. Okay. Conjunctions.
No, first
First what?
you're gonna read the sentence.
Oh, yes. Last spring, Midge and her cousin went there for a special program. Are there any conjunctions?
Get a red marker. Don't do blue.
Why red?
Contrast. Are there any conjunctions? Ezra?
Well, at least
What is a conjunction?
Goes good with blue. In this area. Hurry. And.
I said do red. You can't see the purple contrast.
You can, Mom.
Rogine, please. I think Ezra would agree with me.
At least purple goes better with blue than red.
Can you do it in red? I'm interested in going to bed.
Okay. Midge and her cousin went there for a special program. Are there any phrases?
Any phrases? Meaning prepositional phrases. So I see a preposition, but here it's a number.
Yeah. For a special program.
For a special program is put into parentheses.
Parentheses.
Label your preposition and your object of the preposition.
The preposition is for, and the object of the preposition is program. And special is an adjective describing program. It's what kind of program. And a program is telling which program.
So it's a definite article. All right, are there any other prepositional phrases?
Last spring.
That is a phrase, but it's not
prepositional.
It is an adverbial phrase.
Nope.
Last spring.
No, wait, we don't label.
Yeah, don't,
Which spring?
just inside of it. Which spring? Last spring is an adjective.
There we go.
Okay, so now, are there any other phrases?
Nope.
All right, so now read it again.
Last spring, Midge and her cousin went there for a special program.
So now we're going to look at the principal elements.
Midge is doing the action, and her cousin.
Okay.
So Midge is the subject. Underline it once and put an S. And cousin.
I'm glad you didn't say her cousin, because her is a
Possessive adjective.
possessive adjective.
Adjective.
Okay, Midge and her cousin did what? Went.
They went. Underline it twice and put a P.
That's our predicate verb.
Verb.
And where did they go?
There.
There. So there is an adverb. It's answering where they went. Adverb. So now your prepositional phrase for a special program is modifying what?
Why they went.
Why did they go? So that's answering, that's an adverbial prepositional phrase. So ADV and prep underneath. Okay, how about last spring?
When they went.
When did they go? And because it's a phrase, so it's not just one adverb. All right, so now I can diagram it. So we're going to start with the principal elements. And look though, Roisin, we have a compound subject.
Brain fart. We make our little rocket ship. That's what I call it. And the dotted line for the conjunction to go on.
And just abbreviate M and C.
M, C, and
modifiers.
Midge and
her
cousin. And they went.
Now, actually start left to right when you're diagramming, because it'll be easier.
Everything's pointing to went.
So remember your adverbial phrase though? Do you remember how to do that one last spring?
Me made mistake. Her. I put cousin. Huh?
Last spring.
Last.
Do you remember how to diagram that? The adverbial clause?
Yes.
Okay.
Spring. Last. It's wonky. Spring. No, wait. Spring. Last.
That's right.
And make the L capital.
That's right. Ugh, Roisin, your big head is in the way.
Because it's full of knowledge.
Okay.
Because you put it there.
There is next. There.
Went there.
And for
a special
program a special. While she's finishing that up, I'll show you here what it should look like.
A special.
And I will show you letter C as well. That way, when you're done with B, you can pause, work C out on your own, diagram it, and correct it using this to see if you got it right. But don't look ahead at this. Try to do it on your own first. So pause the video, and once you've worked out letter C, then do it. And, oops, that's B. Yeah, okay. And then Wednesday, you will be doing lesson C. And I will not be doing a video for lesson C. Just work it out. You can come back to this video and correct your answers, okay? But no cheating. Don't look ahead.
No cheating!
No cheating.
No cheating!
All right.
Franklin demands of it.
Good night.